Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 3 of the course here. Um, so we're into the halfway part of this course, and I know, assuming by now you're all getting settled into routines and new habits of how you're having to manage your time, get your work in and everything like that. So most of you, I think, are taking 2 courses this term, or maybe one, but either way, I assume you're getting adjusted and realizing, this is a full-time endeavor you're doing, but the good thing is there is an end to it. But anyway, so I got my scenery up here. Also got my little bit of motivation here to try and, every week I try to do something to keep people inspired and just, because I know there's a lot of distractors out there. Some that can't be helped. We have, there's work obligations, things like that, family and other stuff going on. Um, but so this little quote here, difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do about it. So you know, um, it's not easy sometimes. Lots of struggles along the way. Um, some struggles are legitimate. Some might be not. When you got the negative influences that you don't you don't have to have. So you just gotta, drive through that and, stay motivated, focused. All of you, made a choice that you want to do this, get that degree, and that's a good choice. That's a significant life event. So, um, just stay focused and, work through it. And, I'm here to help you also. All of us at the school, if you have problems, and, we've all been back and forth on different things here. So, just, get in touch if you need anything. Okay, so, real quick, the last upcoming week here. Let's get in here. So we just finished up week 2, um, and we're going into week 3. So the discussions again, everybody, you're doing great on those discussions. That interaction and the more detail. I mean, versus back in the undergrad program, a lot of you may have noticed a lot of students would write one-liners or two-liners, and you are in a graduate program. It's pretty much straightforward, and there's a certain expectation in there. Um, so as we go into the weeks here, you're going to find different things. But anyway, so again, you got discussions again this week. You have your assignments. Now, just want to clarify something because somebody brought up a question. Um, depending on what the assignments are, in graduate programs, doing this APA style writing is a standard. I mean, it's not. It's kind of like saying, it's a given. It's kind of like, hey, when you submit an assignment, you're supposed to submit it in English because that's what we're doing. It's the same, it's the same thing for APA. And if that hasn't been clear, I mean, I just need to make that clear. APA standard, is the standard unless it's otherwise, not, or if there's a particular assignment where it doesn't have to be. Um, like, okay, in this assignment here, um, to design a training session. Okay, so this is going to be different. You're not going to do the APA type thing. You're going to do, based on what's in the text and everything, you're going to come up with a training session here. Let me see what this other assignment, the other assignment here, the in the field assignment. All right, so this one here, because you're, again, similar to week 2, you're going to come up with some things, and yeah, there's steps in there, but again, um, you're still going to cite the article. You're going to do your, intro and what you're doing, and then your body, and that you're going to cover all these different steps and everything in here. So, I mean, that part is the same. And if there's any, any issues, we'll let you know and everything on that. So, another thing to be, hope, I've mentioned it before in other courses is, in graduate programs, getting an A in a course is an exception. The general rule is, B, because B is the average. So if there's 10 students in a class, um, and everybody pretty much does the same, that's average. If you got 1 or 2 students that does something above and beyond, then that would be the A above average. So that's how it's kind of supposed to be, and I just want to clarify that. Not that anybody's in danger of getting B's or anything like that. I'm just putting that out there so you just, you're aware of it, that, If you do get B's, it's not a negative. Okay. Now graduate work, C, yeah, that's failing on graduate, but you know the B's and the A's are okay. So, all right. So I'm sorry, I got distracted there for a second, but okay. So you got your assignments this week. Um, and don't forget, you also got your project, in which I think I've a couple times sent it out, and it's right there under the week one info. So, all right. So, okay, and you got 4 chapters this week. So, chapter 9, human capital, which is another word for people, labor. Um, so I mean that chapter 9 covers the human capital part. Chapter 10, performance management. Stages of control, like over here on the over here or down on this first slide. Whoops, down first slide. You got control cycles and different acronyms and things that they get into. So the other thing, when you get into management, some of you may already be in management, and you've kind of adjusted your mind to looking at this new language and dealing with different acronyms and terms and so forth. But again, there's a lot of things that go into it. Chapter 11 here, organizational change. That has to do with things are always changing. There's words, and depending on how old you are, there's a mix in here of ages, but depending how old you are, you may have seen the changes, over the years in how businesses operate, and different terms that come up, like terms like transparency. That's kind of thrown around like it's a normal word anymore, but that wasn't always around. Internet, that wasn't always around. Lots of people are resistant to change, and that's a big issue in organizations. A lot of people still want to do things the old way, or versus a new way or a better way. Sometimes the new way isn't a better way. It depends on what it is. So again, change, is pretty much continuous anymore. Things are constantly changing, and for people to stay up on stuff and businesses to stay up, you got to be able to adapt to the change. So that's how innovations, things like 8-track tapes, cassette tapes, CDs, and even now the CDs are, you got thumb drives and different things. So I mean, or you just got your phone, that everything's on there. So there's change, and as one change comes in, the old change might go out or go out of business. I always use in marketing classes with like the undergrads. I always use the Netflix and Blockbuster as an example. Blockbuster, whoever was in charge didn't have the vision, the innovation to think ahead, and things like Netflix and Redbox came along and drove them out of business. Um, you know, Instead of Netflix, it could be Blockbuster, but because whoever didn't see it, and whoever was doing Netflix saw it, again, changed. So anyway, all right, and then chapter 12, leadership and organizations. That goes back to what I just talked about. Leaders. That's important. To be able to look ahead and see how the business is going, how to manage. And there's just so many aspects within management. It takes a lot to stay up with. It takes a lot more to stay ahead of the game and make sure you're still competitive and changing. Look at things like McDonald's. Okay, now they have they've come out with new stuff, and they're always trying to stay current with the trends and with the healthy eating, things like that. McDonald's used not to be healthy eating, and there's a movie I just watched it a couple weeks ago. It's called The Founder, and it's about how the McDonald's kind of started. So if you haven't seen that, good movie, because Michael Keaton's plays what's his name, Crotch. And so he's like a traveling salesman. So I mean, that's a way of doing that way it used to be doing businesses. So anyway, that might be a good movie to watch if you're just kind of curious on the history and kind of how things. And there's a lot of butting heads in that movie with the original people and his character and stuff. And I won't tell you anything else, but pretty good movie if you're interested in that. Okay. Alrighty. Nothing. Okay, so I got that covered. Okay, so upcoming assignments. You got that. I just covered those discussions. Okay, so pretty much got everything covered there. The only other thing, so I'll cut it short here. Well, short. We're at 10 minutes, but um, the only other thing, keeping with my theme, I'll give you a test question this week. Um, I'm sorry. Let me go back real quick. Yeah, my theme I did with up to you what you do. It's up to you how you get there. I'll have a second video. I have this other video here posted underneath this one. GoPro, if you don't know, it's a camera system, but there's on YouTube there's a GoPro site, and some of us always I know we're stressed sometimes, lots to do. You need a brain break. Like me, I like watching little short videos. So this is like an example of one of it. It's just I like seeing what people do, as far as they go out and do stuff they want to do and have fun, or challenges and things like that. So these type of videos I like, and maybe you'll like it too. So just take 4 minutes. Might help, give you a little brain break or a little inspiration or something there, or it might spark something, like, hey, oh yeah, I want to do that. Just like at school, I want to do that. So, okay. And then the test question, like I was saying here, going on the same theme, it's up to you what you want to do. Me in my younger days, there's things I wanted to do. And so this is me right here. You can let me know what this picture is about, but this was something, I wanted to do when I was younger, and so I applied, I tried, and I got through, and did it. And so anyway, so just again, there's things you want to do, like getting this degree, getting this MBA, then go for it. So all right, I will let you go. Have a great week. Get in touch with me if you need anything. Take care.